Hey, hi. So in this lesson, we are going to look at how to solve quadratics equation for your GED exam. And as always, I would recommend that you pause this video and do the questions before seeing my solution. But for the first question, it says to solve this equation, x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0. So what you do in a situation like this is you have to find two factors of this number of 2 that add up to 3, and so you open brackets, open parentheses, close parentheses, and that's equal to 0. And you write an x here, you write an x there. And so we can do that because there's no number next to this x squared term. But so the two numbers that when you multiply, you get a 2, but when you add, you get a 3 are, well, let's look at 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is equal to 2, and 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. So our two numbers would be x plus 2 and x plus 1. Okay, x plus 1. Yeah, it's x plus 1. Good. So, and then you have to think about this for a second. If you multiply two numbers and they give you 0, it means that either this number is a 0 or that number is a 0 or they're both 0. So we'll just look at the case for when x plus 2 equals 0, or the separate case for when x plus 1 equals 0. So x plus 2 equals 0. If you want to solve for x in this problem, you just have to subtract a 2 on both sides, and we get x plus 2 minus 2 is a 0. And 0 minus 2 is -2. So x equals -2, or we have to subtract 1 from both sides here. So if we bring down x, 1 minus 1 is 0, and 0 minus 1 is -1. So x is equal to -1. So these are your solutions for this problem. So we have to come to the answers and compare. So it looks like this is the correct answer for the first question. Okay, so we move on to a second different question. So again, so for a task with solving a quadratic equation that has just a 1 or no term next to this x squared term, we open parentheses. So you open two parentheses and you say this equals 0. And so you go, you bring down an x here, you bring down an x there, and then you have to find two factors of 3. So two factors of 3 that add up to 4. So we can look at a few numbers. So 3 times 1 is equal to 3. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So it looks like we have x plus 3 and x plus 1. Okay, x plus 1 are the numbers we're looking for. And then if two numbers are multiplied to give you a 0, this means that x plus 3 equals 0, or x plus 1 equals 0. Okay, so we first solve this one. So you want to get rid of this 3, and we'll just subtract 3 on both sides, and we get x 3 minus 3 0 is equal to 0 minus 3 is -3. So x equals -3. If we come back to the or part, so we want to get rid of this 1, so we'll just subtract 1 on both sides. So we bring down this x. 1 minus -1 is 0. 0 minus -1, or 0 minus 1 is just -1. So x is equal to -1. So this is our solution. So our solution is x equals -3, or x equals -1. So do we have, yeah. So this is our answer here. Okay, good. I hope you are with me still and following along. So then here's a similar problem where it says again, solve x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 0. So again, there's no term here, or it's just one. So again, we open two sets of parentheses and we still maintain equals 0. So we're bringing x down here and we bring an x down here. And so we're looking for two factors of 2 that add up to -3. So two factors of 2 that add up to -3. So let's try -1 times -2. So if you multiply two negative numbers, you get a positive number. So this is 2. And if you add this to -1 plus -2, this is a -3. So it looks like we have to do x minus 1 and x minus 2. Okay, cool. So those are our two factors. So then if you multiply these two numbers together 0, it means that x minus 1 equals 0 or x minus 2 equals 0. So we have to solve this equation. So we'll solve this by adding 1 on both sides. And so this becomes x plus -1 plus 1 is 0 is equal to 0 plus 1 is 1. So x is equal to 1. Or if you add a 2 on both sides here, you get x -2 plus 2 is 0, and 0 plus 2 is just 2. So x equals 2. So it looks like this here is our solution. That's the correct answer. And so yeah, let's look at this last one. And so the question is, you want to solve x squared plus 16x plus 15 equals 0. And because there's a 1 here, you just open parentheses and you equate this to 0. And you bring down an x here, you bring down an x here. And so you're looking for two numbers that if you multiply, you get a 15, but if you add them, you get a 16. So let's try 15 times 1 is equal to 15, and 15 plus 1 is equal to 16. Okay, so it looks like that's what we're looking for. So we'll have x plus 1, x plus 15 equals 0. And so if you multiply two numbers and get a 0, it means that x plus 1 equals 0, or x plus 15 equals 0. So if you subtract 1 on both sides, you get x plus 0 equals -1. And that means that x is equals to -1. Or if you subtract 15 on both sides, you get x plus 15 minus 15 is 0. This is equal to -15. And so you get x equals -15. So this here is your solution. Okay, cool. So look out for practice problems in the description box and other learning materials that will be there. And I hope to see you soon in the next video.